every time you stop at a fast charger on a road trip, you are making a deal with your battery. You get your battery from 20% to 80% in 25 minutes. You get back on the road, you get to your destination without stress. But something else is happening inside that battery while the percentage climbs. Something that a slow overnight charge at home never does. It is not dramatic. It does not happen all at once. And for most drivers in India and the Gulf, it will never matter enough to change their habits. But for some of you, the ones who fast charge every single day because you have no home charger, the ones parking in apartment basements or office lots, the ones wondering if your battery will still be healthy in year 5, understanding this one difference could save you few lakh of rupees. So here is the honest, plain English science of what fast charging actually does to your battery and what it does not. Let us start with the thing that most EV content gets completely wrong. Fast charging does not damage your battery because it pushes in more electricity. That is not the problem. The problem is the speed at which the lithium ions inside your battery cells have to move. Here is a way to picture it. Your battery is full of tiny lithium ions. Think of them as passengers on a Mumbai local train. During a slow overnight charge, those passengers board calmly. They find their seats, everything is orderly, no stress on the carriage. During a fast charge, everyone is rushing for the same train at the same time. They crash into each other, end up in the wrong seats. Some get wedged in the doors. That damage is permanent. That is it. That is the whole story. Here is what are the most EV videos will never tell you because they are made for European or American audiences. For us in India and the Gulf, the real enemy of our EV battery is not cold, it is heat. Your battery has a danger zone above 40 degrees Celsius. In Delhi in May, ambient temperatures hit 47 to 48 degrees Celsius. In Dubai in July, it averages 48 degrees and can see surface temperatures of 60 to 70 degrees. At those temperatures, the electrolyte fluid inside your battery cells begins to break down. The chemical reaction that stores energy starts degrading permanently. Or every hour your battery spends above 45 degrees, whether driving, parked in the sun, or fast charging, is causing microscopic but cumulative damage. And fast charging makes this dramatically worse because fast charging generates additional heat inside the cells at the exact moment the battery is already fighting the ambient temperature. There are three specific ways the Indian and Gulf climate attacks your EV battery. First, parking in direct sunlight. In a 45-degree Chennai or Hyderabad afternoon, a car left in direct sun can reach 80 to 85 degrees inside the cabin and 50 to 60 degrees at the battery surface. Most EVs do not actively cool the battery when the engine is off. Every hour of sun parking is an hour of heat stress. Second, fast charging in summer heat. When you plug into a DC fast charger in July in Dubai, your battery is already at 38 to 42 degrees from the ambient temperature. Fast charging adds more internal heat, 5 to 10 degrees above ambient. Third, running full AC in stop and go traffic. In extreme heat, your AC can consume 3 to 4 kilowatts continuously, up to 30% of your total power output. This drains the battery faster, meaning you need to charge more often, increasing total charge cycles and cumulative heat exposure. This is why the single most important question to ask before buying any EV for India or the Gulf is: does this car have an active liquid battery cooling system? Active liquid cooling means the car continuously pumps coolant through channels in the battery pack to keep the cells at a safe temperature, even in 45-degree ambient heat, even during fast charging, even when parked. The Tata Nexon EV, MGZ SEV, Hyundai Creta Electric, Kia EV6, and BYD Atto 3 all have active liquid thermal management. In Indian summer conditions, these batteries typically maintain 30 to 35 degrees internally, even when the ambient is 45 degrees below 20%. The bottom zone, the remaining lithium ions are more tightly packed. Forcing them to move quickly causes more stress on the cell structure above 80%, the top zone. This is where the real damage happens. As the battery fills, available space for incoming ions shrinks. Fast charging here is like trying to squeeze more passengers into an already packed Delhi metro at rush hour. Things get damaged, and in a hot climate where your battery may already be warm from the ambient temperature, the top and bottom zones become even more dangerous during fast charging. Here is the second thing most people do not realize about fast charging. Your battery does not experience it the same way across its entire range. The damage risk changes depending on where your battery percentage sits. From 20% to 80%, the middle zone, exactly as the manufacturer intended, the chemistry is within its comfort range. This is the zone where fast charging is both efficient and relatively safe. It's, this is why the 20 to 80% rule exists. It is not arbitrary caution from some European EV blogger. It is the natural sweet spot where fast charging is efficient and relatively gentle on your battery. For highway trips in India, the Delhi to Jaipur run, the Mumbai Pune Expressway, the Chennai to Bengaluru highway, charge from 20 to 80, stop again when you come back down to 20. That is it. For Gulf drivers, the Dubai to Abu Dhabi run, Riyadh to Jeddah highway stops. The charging rate slows dramatically above 80% anyway. So you are not just protecting your battery by stopping at 80, you are also saving time. The last 20% takes as long as the first 60%. Now let us talk about what slow home charging actually does for your battery and why it is even more important in India and the Gulf than in cooler climates. Slow charging generates almost no additional heat inside the battery. This matters enormously when ambient temperatures are already 30 to 40 degrees at night in summer. When you charge slowly overnight, the battery management system has time to keep the battery cool throughout the entire charge. It also has time to balance individual cells properly, equalizing small differences between the hundreds of cells inside your battery pack. And here is the hidden advantage of charging at night in India and the Gulf. Night temperatures 6 to 10 degrees cooler than the peak afternoon heat. Charging at midnight means your battery is at its coolest point of the 24-hour cycle. You are giving your battery the most favorable conditions possible. Lithium plating, the main damage mechanism from fast charging, is essentially eliminated at level 2 home charging rates. This alone makes a significant difference to battery health over 5 to 7 years. Okay. Now, here is the honest situation for most Indian and Gulf EV owners. If you live in an independent house or villa, you likely already have a home charger or can install one easily. That is your biggest battery protection tool. If you live in an apartment, which is the reality for most EVV owners in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Dubai, and Sharjah, this is more complicated. Many apartment buildings still do not have EV charging infrastructure. Let us translate all of this into money because for EV owners in India and the Gulf, the financial stakes of battery health are very real. First, your daily range. A Tata Nexon EV at 90% battery health still gives you nearly 340 kilometers on a full charge. At 75% health, that drops to around 280 kilometers. In Mumbai or Bengaluru traffic, you might start needing to charge more often and planning your routes more carefully. Okay. Second, resale value. The used EV market in India is growing fast. Buyers on Cardeco and Cars 24 are increasingly asking for battery health reports. A Nexon EV with 93% battery health sells for 1.5 to 2.5 lakh rupees more than the same model at 82%. In the Gulf, that gap on a comparable model can be 3,000 to 5,000 dirhams. Third, and most seriously, replacement. A full battery pack replacement on a Tata Nexon costs approximately 5 to 7 lakh rupees. On an MGZS, it is similar. If your battery degrades faster than average due to years of summer fast charging without thermal management, that cost lands on you the moment the warranty expires. So, here is the practical summary, key rules that will protect your EV battery in India and the Gulf. One, charge at home overnight whenever possible. Night temperatures are cooler. The battery generates almost no heat. Your battery management system can balance cells properly. Two, when you must fast charge, use 20 to 80% rule. Stop at 80. Never sit at a charger sweating it out to 100%. You are waiting longer and damaging your battery more for those last few kilometers. Three, park in shade whenever you can. An underground car park or a covered structure keeps your battery 10 to 15 degrees cooler than open sun parking. That is 10 to 15 degrees less stress on your battery for every hour you are not driving. Do these three things, and your battery will almost certainly be in excellent health at year 5 and beyond. Here is the genuinely exciting part. Now, especially for those of us in hot climates, the fast charging problem is being actively engineered away. 800-volt architecture is already in the Hyundai Ioniq 5, Kia EV6, Hyundai Creta Electric, and several others arriving in India and the Gulf now. By running at twice the voltage, these cars achieve the same charging speed with half the electrical current. Less current means dramatically less heat generated inside the battery during charging. For hot climate countries like India and the UAE, this is not just a performance upgrade, it is a battery protection upgrade. Less heat during fast charging means less stress on cells that are already dealing with the ambient temperature. This technology will become standard across most new EVs sold in India and the Gulf by 2027. New battery chemistries are also changing the equation, and some of them are specifically better suited to hot climates. LFP, lithium iron phosphate, the chemistry used in BYD's Blade Battery and in the base versions of Tata Nexon EV and MG Comet, is significantly more thermally stable than the NMC chemistry used in many premium EVs. LFP cells start degrading at higher temperatures and are less prone to thermal runaway in heat. BYD's Blade Battery, in particular, has demonstrated 3,000 fast charge cycles before reaching 80% capacity. At one fast charge, hope you are enjoying the video. Please do subscribe and let us continue. Solid state batteries is when they actually arrive in the 2028 to 2030 window, eliminate the liquid electrolyte that breaks down under heat. For hot climate countries, solid state represents the ultimate long term solution. Here is the summary that actually matters for you as an EV owner in India or the Gulf. Fast charging is not the enemy, it is a tool. Use it on highway trips, use it when you need it, always in the 20 to 80% range, and you will be fine. Slow charging at home overnight is better for your battery as it generates less heat, allows proper cell balancing, and takes advantage of the cooler night temperatures. And park in the shade always. This one free habit protects your battery more than almost any other single thing you can do. The EV owner in India or the Gulf who follows these three rules will still have a healthy, high value battery at year 5, year 7, and beyond.